Hello. Okay, welcome to Zecher Bereshis. Okay, we're working our way through snakes. Today we're going to do a snake called the hog-nosed snake. I mentioned him in the introduction also. He's an eastern snake. He lives all the way from Ontario in Canada all the way down to Florida and to Texas. The biggest, there's three types. There's an American snake only. There are three species in America of the hog-nosed snake. And the biggest one is 3.5 feet long. Not that big. Now, its diet is mostly frogs and toads. But they've been seen to eat smaller snakes and lizards and small mammals also. They're not a poisonous snake. And their funny name, hognose, is named after their upturned snout, which looks a little bit like a hog. Now, we see in this snake, we see Hashem's chokhmah, His wisdom, in the way, first of all, He catches his prey, but more so, all the defense systems Hashem gave it to protect Himself. This is a hog-nosed snake. Look at his snout, you'll see it's turned upwards. Now, Hashem gave it the snout to use as a shovel. He digs down into the loose soil, especially when he's looking for food. There's a type of toad called a spade-foot toad, and that toad spends most of his time under the sand, under the dirt, and this snake, the hog-nosed snake, likes to dig up under the ground and dig up these toads and eat them for dinner. Now they seize their prey and they swallow them head first, and Hashem gave them in the back of their mouth long teeth, almost like fangs. But they're not poisonous, so they're not really fangs. But anyway, that helps hold on to the animal that they're eating, the frog, the toad, whatever it is, and help them while they swallow it. And they also say, that the naturalists, that there are some toads that, in defense for themselves, they blow up their body, make it much bigger. So these teeth that the hog-nosed snake has are used to puncture the blown-up toad, so he can't get stuck in his throat, and then he can swallow. Some hog-nosed snakes look very much like a rattlesnake called the Masagwa rattlesnake. The markings on their body are very similar. And Hashem gave this hog-nosed snake the instinct to coil up its body just like a rattlesnake does. And it'll mimic the rattlesnake. So that'll help keep their predators away from him. And if they're threatened, what they'll do is they'll show off the markings of their body as if to say, don't stood up with me, I'm a Masagwa rattlesnake, even though he's not. But that's what he looks like. And he'll puff up the front half of his body and neck by spreading their ribs out and moving around their jaw bones until they almost look like a hood of an angry cobra. And this is usually enough to convince most enemies to keep away from them. If not, then they'll hiss and they'll strike out at the enemy, but with their mouth shut, because they really have nothing to do anyway. They don't have poison, and they can't do any damage anyway with their bite to a big enemy. But anyway, with these frightening acts, if that works, it works. If it doesn't work, then all of a sudden, Hashem gave them the instinct to turn around. Instead of being very aggressive and trying to scare off the enemy, what they do is they roll over onto their back, limp, as if they're dead, with their mouth open, their tongue hanging out, and they even give a realistic final death twitch. And if the animal that wants to eat it, and most animals don't like dead meat, they only like live meat, so if they turn it over onto its belly, it'll roll itself again back onto its back. Or it'll wallow around on the ground It'll roll around on the ground, it gets sand in its open mouth, and it'll throw up. This is all an act that is given. And if you pick the snake up, it's completely limp, as if it was lifeless. It really seems like it's really dead. But if you go away from it long enough, it'll recover, and it'll just crawl away happy and safe. And here's pictures of the hog nose. They're somewhat small pictures, but you can get the idea. Look at them, you can see how the act of being dead. That's the Chachmas Abayre. That they give them such instincts, such abilities to fake being dead so that the predators will leave them alone. Okay. Have a great Shabbos Kodesh and easy Tainus, and we should all hear Besuras Toiva soon. The Beis HaMikdash should be rebuilt in our days. Hashem.